Because one of the things poems are is a way to tell a story. I'm going to do a really long, short version of a long poem because of my two boys bouncing their basketballs into the kitchen. And there's a book called There Were Monkeys in My Kitchen that I wrote a long time ago, and I'm going to do a little bit of that poem. So Jordan and Dustin came into the kitchen, bouncing their basketballs, and I said what any mother would. They were going pum, 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 and they were sweating, and they were hot and sweaty, and I said, you two monkeys get those basketballs out of this kitchen right this minute. They went, we're not monkeys, Mom. I said, yes, you are. There's monkeys in my kitchen. Then a few months later, I had a dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night saying those words. So I'm going to do a little bit of that poem. How many of you have been called monkeys before? I'm sure we all have. I know there's a lot of monkeys in this room. There were monkeys in my kitchen. They were climbing up the walls. They were dancing on the ceiling. They were bouncing. Now you might think that sounds funny, and you might think that sounds kind of neat to see 1,000 monkeys dancing to a funky monkey beat, but I can tell you, it was terrible. Hardest day I ever had. I was there, so believe me, it was bad. It was bad. You see, first there were gorillas in a grand ballet pirouette, arabesque, plie, sauté. They wore ballerina slippers and purple fishnet socks. And when they danced, the city shook for 49 blocks. So I called the police. I called the RCMP. I was extra polite, and I even said, please, as I shouted in the phone, chimpanzees, more quicker than it takes to do a double duty sneeze. I turned around, and in my face were 40 more chimpanzees. They wiggled, they jiggled. One said, if you please, you may call me by my proper name, Deborah, please. She said, I'm just a go-go with my go-go everywhere, and my red leather boots, and my punky monkey. Yeah. So I called the police. I dialed 911. I said, I think you better hurry up. This house has come undone. Well, next thing I knew, those apes were doing rock and roll. They were twisting on my table. They broke my cereal bowl. They danced to the Beatles. Now that's an old singing group. Then they crumbled up crackers in my minestrone soup. They turned up the volume on my brother's ghetto blaster. They got goofy. They got clumsy. They danced faster, faster, faster. So I shouted in the phone, it's a national, irrational, primordial disaster. Can you say national? National. Irrational. Irrational. Primordial. Primordial. Disaster. Disaster. Well, before I had the time to even give the number of our street, I was interrupted rudely by this crash, bang, beat. Well, there were 55 monkeys singing do-si-do, saying, yee-haw, get down, swing your partner by the toe. Now, I know you can all say that. Say, yee-haw, yee-haw, get down, swing your partner by the toe. Swing your partner by the toe. Promenade, lemonade, they twirled in crinoline skirts. They wore 10-gallon hats. They had rhinestones in their shirts. So I called the police. I said, what should I do? Has anyone reported monkeys missing from the zoo? And then what happens in that book, of course, is the monkeys keep coming, and she keeps calling all the police, and they keep coming, and they don't listen to her, and finally I'm going to skip to the end of the book. Finally she goes, so I went to the kitchen sink, which is a place where I think, and I think, and I think, and finally I came up with an idea, a solution that saved the day. I shouted out one word. I said, you know this book! Okay, she said, bananas. Can everybody say it? Bananas. See how beautiful it sounds? See how every word is beautiful, especially when it's your voices that say it. Let's pretend we'll make it a song again. Bananas. And you know what? All those monkeys stopped. And I said, there, now that I have your attention, I'd like all your monkeys, chimpanzees, apes, and gorillas to go get skedaddle, hurry up, go on, get out of this place. And this is what happened. One monkey came right over, ooh, 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 and one wiped my tears away. She said, I guess we should go. That's all you had to say. And then another monkey came over and said, and my name is Aristotle. And I said, and my name is Socrates. And I said, I'm really pleased to meet you. Glad to know you, chimpanzee. But just then I heard a siren, and I knew my help had come. There were 49 Mounties, but they were blowing bubblegum. I said, this is no time for chewing. This is no time for bubbles. I tell you that this neighborhood has had its share of trouble. So what happens in the end is that, of course, the monkeys all go away. And she says, you know what? I found the house real sad and empty and quiet, with no dancing monkeys around, and every mother and father in this room knows exactly what I mean when I didn't know the meaning of what I wrote when I wrote those words. I found the house real sad and empty and quiet with no dancing monkeys around, but I think I saw an elephant just open up the door, and I got this funny feeling there are several 100 more. The end. And guess what? The elephants are my grandchildren. So guess what?